Hello, this is Mateo here, and I'm going to share with you a part of my interview. I was interviewing my grandpa in Indiana around Thanksgiving. He shared with me a story about his childhood and where he grew up. Also, he told me about how he served in the military, and here it is. What do you remember about the day you enlisted?
It was actually the day before I actually was inducted. I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, and then because my mom and dad didn't want the Navy to do it, they wanted to be sure the dentist did it. And then my mom asked me what I like for my last dinner at home, and my favorite dinner was pork chops, stuffed pork chops. So it's a little hard to eat, having just had 4 teeth pulled, but I did. And then the day we were enlisted, then they put us on a bus, and it was it was a long bus ride down from Seattle down to I guess we went all the way down to San Diego, boot camp in San Diego. So I don't know if it probably wasn't quite 24 hours, but it probably was most of it.
Yeah. How did you tell your family and friends that you were joining the military?
I don't remember that.
What were some of the reasons why you joined the military? And how did you choose your branch of service?
What were some of the reasons I joined?
Yeah.
I joined the Navy because my dad, I knew that my dad was had been a Navy officer when I was born. I was during World War II, and he was stationed in Philadelphia when I was born. And then, as I was growing up, I liked boats and ships, and I did quite a bit of boating. I was in Sea Explorers, and so I spent time on boats there, and our family had a sailboat, and so I got to do a lot of boating, and so I just thought I'd like the Navy.
Yeah.
And then also, when I graduated from high school, I was in Sea Explorers, like I said, and which is Boy Scouts with a kind of a emphasis, older Boy Scouts with an emphasis on boating, and we were able to. There was a group of us from Seattle. I mean, they chose different ones from all over the Seattle area to go on a Navy ship. And we went from California, from the San Francisco Bay, across the Pacific Ocean to Tokyo, and then down to Taiwan, and up to Incheon, Korea, and then back across the Pacific back to San Francisco Bay again. So I had that experience on a Navy ship before I wasn't really in the Navy, but they gave us training in all the different departments of the ship. And so that was a good experience.
That's nice. How did you imagine military life before you joined? And how did your perceptions change after serving?
Well, I don't think my perception of it changed much. I think I had a pretty good idea of what it was like because of experiences I had growing up.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain amount of discipline, but that bothered some people. But it didn't bother me because I'd been, I think, because of being in scouting and the way I grew up and everything, and being in Sea Scouts, I was used to having training and following rules.
Yeah.
And then after I'd been in just over a year, I'd already met your grandma when I was in college before I went in the Navy, and so I married and she agreed to marry me. So it was from that time on, for the most part, being in the Navy was just kind of like a regular job. I lived at home. I wasn't in the barracks anymore, and just went into work. And so it was, for the most part, pretty easy. I enjoyed it.